I'm a pain-free movement specialist, and I concentrate my, stuff on people that, suffer from back pain, because I suffered from back pain almost 3 decades ago. And I want to make sure that people that get in the same position can become pain-free a lot quicker than it took me, because I had to figure everything else out for myself due to the fact that most people in the medical professional field focus on the symptoms instead of the root causes. And all the stuff I was doing, to focus on the pain and the tightness was only giving me temporary relief. So I figured out everything I needed to do outside of that to finally get, permanent back pain relief. So I know that this is a stretch routine. I will tell you straight out, no matter how much you stretch, it's only kind of temporarily fixing the problem. So you're going to have to do a ton of stretching. So until you actually, get to the root cause of what is causing the problem, you're probably never going to become pain-free. So just to let you know about that, this Tuesday, 7 p.m., I am having a Eastern Standard Time. I am having a webinar all about the root causes of back pain and what you really need to focus on to get rid of your back pain for good. So for today's stretch routine, you're going to need a foam roller, a pillow, or an Eric's pad. I will leave a link where you can get everything for this. And by the way, if you want to get in on the back pain, root causes of back pain seminar, leave me a comment. You're also going to need a medicine ball or something that's got some height to it for a later stretch where we want to keep the hips stacked. And you're going to need a stretch band or some towel. Make sure the towel is long enough for one stretch we'll be doing later. So we're going to start off on the foam roller. Whew. So make sure you sit on the foam roller. Sit one butt cheek on the foam roller. Put your ankle on your knee. Roll forward and back. Ooh, feel them butt muscles. If you can still work out with the back pain, if you did legs or something and you really worked your butt, you will probably feel this. Or if your back is really kind of in pain, you may also feel this, because a lot of the times the pain you feel in your back comes from a tightness in your hips. So let's switch sides. I don't feel anything on this side. When I had back pain, it was all kind of localized on the left due to the fact that that was the side that was more messed up. So that's still kind of natural. That side wants to tighten up a little bit. Your body remembers. Okay, we're going to put that off to the side. We're going to stand up tall. And whenever you're doing static stretching, always warm up ahead of time. Never static stretch cold. If you go to anyone and they give you a stretch routine and tell you to do it when you roll out of bed, they don't know what they're talking about, because that is the worst thing you can do and will probably mess up your discs and everything. So we're going to start off with some high knees. So if you can, pull the knee to the chest. Otherwise, just kind of march in place. Going to do 5 aside. I think that might have been 11. So now we're going to do butt kickers. So get your heel to your butt. If you're really flexible, do it this way. Otherwise, just kind of kick your heel. But again, if you can, and also if your balance is good. Can't count to save my life. Okay, awesome. So now we're going to do kicks, staying nice and tall. Pick the leg up, use the core muscles. Even though I called it a kick, try not to kick it, especially if you have lower back pain currently. It'll just pull something, won't feel good. I think that was 5. So now you're gonna, if your balance isn't that great, find something to hold onto, stick to one side. Otherwise, if your balance is pretty good, pick up one leg, touch your toe to the floor, come all the way to tall, put the other foot down, touch your toe to the floor, all the way to tall, alternate side to side. Again, 5 aside. Okay, apologies, but I'm getting stupid hot, so I need to take the sweatshirt off. So you have to see me in my t-shirt. I'll take a sip of my butter coffee. Which even with my mustache cup still got into my mustache. So now you're gonna cross over, reach down, keep your back neutral, don't round your spine to try to touch the floor more, or touch the floor more. Reach closer to the floor. So we're gonna alternate side to side. Okay, so now we're gonna do some lateral lunges, hands wherever. Take a big step, stretch those inner thigh muscles, step back to center, step to the other side, back to center, step to the side. Keep stretching those inner thigh muscles. For some reason, my right side is tighter. I would have figured it'd be my left. I think I did that wrong. Yee. Awesome. So before we get to the static stretching, I'm going to have another sip of coffee. Okay, so get your pillow, put it down on the floor. And if you can lie back without tilting your head back, awesome for you. You don't need the pillow, but for the rest of us, just keep your head kind of up a little bit. Make sure you're relaxed. The lower back will come up off the ground. Don't force it down. I know a lot of places tell you to push your back into the ground. That is bad because you're trying to get your back out of kind of a natural position. If it overarches, obviously you want to try to get it more to neutral, but don't try to push it down. Very bad advice. So take one ankle, put it on your other knee. Keep your knee away from your chest. Pick your other leg up. Grab it behind the, the knee, pulling it back as far as you can without your lower back coming up. You want to keep the stretch in your hip. So you want to feel it kind of right in there. We're going to hold for another 20 seconds. And whenever you do stretching, you want to hold the stretch for at least 20 seconds because that's how long it takes before, like I forget the part of the muscle that tells you to relax. But it takes about that long before that'll activate and actually relax the muscle. But you don't need to hold a stretch for more than like 30 seconds. So you want to hold it long enough for it to release and then give it a little time to kind of realize it wants to stay that way, but not too much. Like people that hold it for 60 seconds are just kind of wasting your time. So pick the other side up, hold that. We're going to go for 30 seconds. And that's where they came up with the 30 seconds. Like the 20 seconds to wait for it to actually release, another 10 seconds to kind of let it realize it's supposed to do that. Like the people that you see that, will hold a stretch for a ridiculously long time, really doesn't do anything. Say 10 more seconds. Okay, put those legs down. Grab your stretch band or towel. pick up one leg kind of bent, get the stretch band or towel around that foot. Keep the leg as straight as possible. Point the heel to the ceiling, toes back towards you. Bring it back as far as you can, keeping the leg straight. You don't want it to bend. And just kind of hold that. I know I'm not getting back too far. You want to hold that. Don't pull it back anymore if it causes your leg to bend, because then you're not actually stretching. You're pretty much contracting the muscle, which is not going to benefit you in any way. And if you feel kind of like the release, you can pull it back a little farther, but otherwise just kind of leave it there, feeling it all in the belly of the muscle. So bend that, put it on your other knee, put that leg down, switch to the other side, wrap it in there, grab it, put the heel to the ceiling. Again, you want to feel it in the belly of the muscle. I'm already getting a stretch because this side is tight. My hamstrings are the bane of my existence. Keep bend that leg. Put the stretch band off to the side. Take that leg we just stretched, relax it on the floor. Go back to the other leg. Grab the knee with the opposite hand. Grab the ankle with the same side hand. You're going to pull it into your chest as far as you can, again, without the back coming up. Don't let the back come up and don't force it into the ground. It'll probably, straighten out from its neutral arch, but don't force it down. Feeling the stretch again in the butt. If you're stupid tight, you might feel a stretch in the front of the other hip flexor. That's normal. Don't worry about it. We just got to make sure we get you looser. I lost count, but that has to be at least 20 seconds. So put that leg down, bring it to straight, pull the other leg back. Again, opposite hand at the knee, same side hand at the ankle. Pull it back as close to your chest as you can get. Ow, snap, crackle, pop. Okay, so relax both down. I don't know if you can see it, but like your back will naturally arch. Like never try to force it down. But now we're going to take both legs, bring one leg back, bring the other leg back, grab your knees, give them a nice big hug, pull them into your chest, only picking your hips up. Do not let your back arch off or round off the floor. If you're so tight that happens, just skip this one for now until we loosen you up more. And the main thing would be to strengthen the appropriate core muscles to make sure that your body knows to relax, because one of the reasons you're super tight is usually due to weaknesses in other muscles, and the tight muscles are actually trying to take over for the weak muscles that aren't doing their job, which is why they're tight. The tightness is not the problem. The tightness is a symptom. You have to figure out what the cause is, deal with that, and then the tightness will get better. So put those legs down. Roll your body as one. Try not to twist. And then sit up tall. I'm going to grab another sip of coffee. So now we're going to do the butterfly stretch. So what you're going to do is sit up tall and neutral. No rounding over. Try to stretch yourself up to the ceiling, but make sure your back stays in its natural arches. You want to, again, stay up tall and neutral. Try not to even look up because then you'll pick your neck up, which will take you out of your natural arch. And you're going to push down on the inner thighs with your elbows if you can. If you can't, don't do it. Just kind of hold the stretch, feeling the stretch in the inner thighs. We'll hold for another 15 seconds. Again, make sure you stay tall and neutral. Excuse me. I just relaxed. You'll notice certain stretches that, about 20 seconds into the stretch, your body will really relax. I forget the name of the receptors, but there's stuff in there that can sense it. And once it gets to 20 seconds, it finally tells your muscle it can relax, which is why you don't really need to hold the stretch more than 30 seconds. So now that we did the butterfly stretch, we're going to do a single leg hamstring stretch on the floor. A lot of people will do this both legs at once. Don't do that. A lot of people also round forward to reach for the toes. Also don't do that. You want to keep a tall, neutral spine. So turn slightly to the leg that is straight. If you can, if you feel a strain in the lower back, don't turn. But turn if you can. Keep tall, neutral spine. Hinge from the hips, reaching as close to your toes as you can. Again, feeling the belly of the muscle, so you want to kind of feel it in there. If you feel it behind the knee or whatnot, sit up tall and try to get back into the stretch. And like I mentioned, if you feel stuff release, you can reach farther forward, but again, tall, neutral spine, no rounding over. Don't pick your head up, anything like that. You want to stay as tall and neutral as possible. And if you're super tight for some reason, you might feel a stretch kind of in here. This is not the lower back muscles, but this is more the obliques. So try not to ever really stretch your lower back muscles. You don't want to feel those. So up tall, switch to the other leg. Turn to that side, tall and neutral, reaching forward. Again, belly of the muscle. You don't want to feel anything behind the knee. So if you do feel that, reposition. And if you feel yourself relax, you can reach a little farther forward. Usually the body will relax after 20 seconds, but it might be a little quicker. Okay, back up to tall. Go to the first leg. Take that other leg, cross it over. Again, I would say tall and neutral, but you got to stay tall. And what we're going to do is going to rotate from the middle part of your spine as much as you can. And you're going to, you're going to rotate your head or your neck too. So go as much as you can. If you feel anything in the lower back, like pain or stretching or whatnot, kind of reposition. If you still feel it, maybe skip this one because you never want to stretch your lower back directly, ever. That'll just kind of, even though it feels good initially, it'll freak the muscles out. You'll end up exacerbating the problem. So anyone that tells you to stretch your lower back, I don't want to say they're an idiot, but what they're telling you is way outdated information that they proved wrong decades ago. So let's switch sides. Again, tall, neutral spine. Put your other foot outside the knee. Turn as much as you can. Again, if you feel it in the lower back as either a stretch or a strain or a pain, just skip this one. Anything with rotation is kind of one of the things that may be iffy, especially when you're first, don't say treating, but when you're first working against getting rid of the, or working on the root causes of the pain. Twisting just takes a little bit before everything kind of gets strong enough to really get those muscles to relax. Okay, so now we're going to do the hip flexor stretch. Grab your pillow or Eric's pad. You don't necessarily need one, but driving your knee into the hard floor just does not feel comfortable. So Put your knee onto the pillow or pad. Keep your knee directly underneath you. You never want to have your knee behind you for a hip flexor stretch. You're not actually stretching your hip flexor. You're taking the head of the hip and you're driving it into the hip capsule, which is the sensation you're feeling. You're not actually stretching. And if you can, reach your arm up, get a better stretch going all the way up. We'll hold for another 10 seconds. Okay, bend the elbow, drop that down. Other side. So drive that knee down into the pillow. Oh, squeeze that butt, open that hip up. Reach for the sky if you can. Feeling the stretch here, and then maybe all the way up, depending on how tight you are. Okay, drop that arm. So now we're going to do my favorite stretch. We're going to do the counter stretch. You want something that's between waist and lower chest height. We're going to use my sofa because my sofa is the perfect height for me, and it's also nice and comfortable. So you're going to find wherever, you're going to put your hands on that. You're going to keep your knees soft, stick your butt out wide back. You're going to drop yourself down, let your chest and head relax. You want to feel the stretch all down your posterior part of your body, which is the backside, except for your lower back. You can feel the stretch middle back, thighs, butt, calves. Try to keep it out of the lower back. Never want to stretch that directly. If you do start feeling the stretch in the lower back, stick your butt out more. If you feel the lower back, that means you're probably tucking your butt under. You always want to drive it kind of up to the ceiling. And then carefully come up tall. We're going to do the hardest stretch of the day. We're going to do a deep squat if you can. So feet a little wider than hip width apart. Keep your hands on the inner part of your thigh. Sit down as low as you can. You will hinge forward. Try not to round. Getting as low as possible. Pushing out on the knees, letting the butt drop. And as you loosen, your hips will drop further or farther, however that works, down. Oh, really feel that stretch. Open those hips up, and if you can, push out on the knees more. Oh, the stretch feels awesome. Oh, yeah, yeah. I keep loosening up. They also say you should hold this stretch for 10 minutes. If you can hold this position for 10 minutes, you are Superman. Okay, up tall, last stretch, and this is the one with the medicine ball or whatever you're using. So put your towel down. Gonna lie on your side, knee on the ball, arms forward, rotate from your middle back, getting as far as you can, wherever your torso stops you. Don't try to force the arm down. You want to make sure you're feeling it in the torso, maybe in the butt, in your chest, not your butt, not your lower back. So you can feel the middle back, butt, chest, no lower back. The lumbar spine, which is where most people have their issues, is not designed to twist. It has a 5 to 6% rotation ability. That's very little. Your middle back is designed to twist quite a bit. I can't remember the exact percentage, but that's the spot. Like your neck and your middle back are designed to move, not your lower back. That's mainly supposed to stabilize. Okay, before you rotate back, bend the elbow, then slowly rotate back. Now we're going to go to the other side. Same deal, knee on the ball, open up as far as you can. This side is a lot looser for me, which is weird. One of the main reasons I really started doing this particular stretch back in college when I was doing all the fitness tests and everything, one of them's called the rotary test. You're supposed to get between like 20 and 22. On my good side, I got a 12.5. On my bad side, I got a 0.5 because I cheated and kind of moved my hand a little bit when no one was looking. I didn't want a negative score. Too bad I don't have access to that test because I'd like to see if I can at least get to normal. So again, bend the elbow, rotate back. And we are all done with the stretching. So hopefully you had just as much fun as I did. If you do currently suffer from back pain, let me know if that helped you. And also, if you're kind of, watching this on your own, I know it's at the end, but after you do the warm up, the first 4 stretches are the best ones to really focus on. And then as you kind of get more pain free, you can do the rest of the stretches, but you also need to focus on, what's weak and causing all the problems. So why you have the pain and the tightness. And then once you deal with that, you can kind of push a little further into everything without fear of aggravating your back. So again, my name is Paul Francis Sweat. I'm a pain-free movement specialist. I concentrate on back pain and the root causes of the back pain to make sure that, when you get rid of your back pain, you get rid of it for good, instead of all the, medical professionals that, treat the symptoms so you feel good for a little bit and then the pain comes back because it was never really gone. So I am having a seminar Tuesday, the 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you would like the link to sign up for that, please leave it in the comments and I will send it to you. So again, Paul F. Sweat, pain-free movement specialist, signing off. Until next time, train smart, train hard, train safe, train the sweat.